We've just heard from the developers. Now let's meet some of the voices of Metaphor ReFantazio. Joining me now are Kristin Atherton and Stewart Clarke. Thanks so much for joining us here at Gamescom. How are you finding it so far?
Oh, mate, it's been overwhelming in the best possible way. Like, I've never been to an event like this, which it's like gaming theme park.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like every area is themed. I'm looking at the World of Warcraft section now, and it's just like, it looks like this themed attraction. People are queuing. They've got incredible rides. There's games. Like, I just want to go out and explore. Like, as soon as this is done, I just want to go and I want to find some cool things to go and experience.
I mean, you walk in for the first time and it's just, you almost want to just stand and take it in. It's just a spectacle.
Yeah.
And people walking around in costumes, you know, I want to stop every single person and go, you look incredible. Wait, you look incredible. It's such a wonderful atmosphere. We're having such a brilliant time.
Yeah, it's one of the best things, just wandering around the booth, seeing all the games. But let's talk about your game, because both of you play some incredible characters, right, in the game. Stewart, do you want to start off with who you're playing and tell us about your character?
I can totally start, yeah. Okay, so I play Leon Stroll, he is your first ally. He is your brother in arms, your ride or die, your main man, your special dude. I'm running out of ways to describe it, but he is like your first and foremost. Runs in very early. He is like a country noble who, basically, he's a man of the people. He's got this idealized version of what a noble should be, how a noble should act, how they should interact with the world. And it's an idealism that isn't always matched by the world that he exists within. And he butts up against that a lot. And I think it's so refreshing for him to find the protagonist and for them to share this kind of forged in fire experience early on, where they find that their ideals align and their motivations align, and he is able to join him as that first ally. Like, his mouth gets ahead of him sometimes.
Yeah.
He's forthright. He will if he doesn't like you, he'll tell you. And if there's a grudge, he's going to keep that grudge. But if you're on the right side of him, he is your best friend.
It sounds like everyone needs a stroll in their life.
I think so. I think so.
I agree.
Kristin, what about your character?
Well, if you need a stroll, you certainly need a Hulkenberg. Iselin Hulkenberg is, she was a knight originally, and she was the bodyguard of the royal family, the prince, and she sort of carries this extraordinary sense of honor and of her duty to the royal family. And when we meet her, she has this enormous wound because she was not able to protect the royal family in their hour of need. And so when we meet her, you get a feeling of she needs to redeem herself. You know, she needs to prove that she is the great knight, the great warrior, and she has your back. She is front and center. You want Hulkenberg to be fighting your corner. She takes herself very, very seriously. She's maybe not the person you want to play a practical joke on, because she will not get it. However, you do want to go to a bar with her and eat some weird food, because she likes her weird food.
Weird? What kind of weird food are we talking about?
I mean, I don't want to drop any spoilers, but basically...
Huge spoilers. Huge spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Hulkenberg's cuisine.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin her maybe one joke of the entire game, but yeah, she will eat what pretty much no one else will eat.
That is fair enough. It's pretty much me at Gamescom. I was just going like, oh, what have we got? Like, going around the town.
Yeah.
But one of the hardest things I find with any prep for building these characters is, what are you given beforehand? Are you shown like images? Are you kind of given extra details so that when you're going to build this character, what's the approach for you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. Honestly, Benny, it can vary massively from project to project in terms of where you are in the recording process when the game's being developed. So it might be that you come in further along, and there's so many assets. You can see full cutscenes. You're getting a full rendition of the world, or it can go completely the other way, and you're basically performing to an Excel spreadsheet, and everything is having to be conjured by your brain. I think with this one, it was sort of an in-betweeny stage where, when we started the project, there was very little. There was like nothing to go on. I remember Scott, the localization director, was sort of describing these things, describing humans, human monsters, and I was like, okay, yeah, right, I get it. Do you get that? Yeah, yes, Stuart, yeah, I get it. I didn't really get it. But then the assets start coming in, and you start seeing these animatics, these cutscenes. There we go, there's one. And you start to see the scale. You start to understand, like, oh, wow, this is not what I pictured. These are not traditional monsters. This is not a traditional fantasy world. It's when the assets did start coming in, and especially when we started dubbing cutscenes and stuff like that, then I started to go, oh, this is different. This is like a different experience, fantasy-wise, to anything that I've done before.
A lot of the monsters, they're almost like Hieronymus Bosch kind of, creations. They look sort of beautiful and terrifying at the same time. I don't know about you, when I auditioned for Hulkenberg, I was given, this is what she looks like, and a lot of kind of descriptive, kind of characteristics. And very quickly, I look at that and go, well, I look nothing like that. So you have to really imagine, you have to pretend every time you're in the booth. One of my directions was, you've got a six-pack on, your armor is a six-pack. And, I'm a sweet little English rose, so stuff like that helps me massively.
No, it must be a lot of fun, though, getting into those roles, because they're, like, as you said, such different characters to what you've done in the past. Yes,
100%. There are a couple of moments in the game that are huge battles, especially for a character like Hulkenberg, and I'm quite an extra performer. I like going big, and a lot of the directions that I kept being given was, Kristin, you're very good at fighting these battles. Things hurt less. Do less. There are a couple of moments, again, I don't want to spoil, big dramatic moments where I was screaming, and the performance directors are going, Kristin, less.
It's always said, though, it's better to go less than be like, oh, more.
100%.
That's what one of the things I've always seen is, like, if you've got more, you can kind of like take that step back and kind of get what you are after.
Yeah, good point.
I didn't get any do less direction. So what I'm hearing is that Stroll feels every attack, and he feels it a lot. But Hulkenberg can like take it, and Stroll is like, oh gosh.
Bad ass. Needs work.
Also, with it like being a voice recording and going and voice work, when you're going into that and you're kind of prepping to do the recordings, because like even backstage we're doing like little warm-ups in the morning, like with like the whole Xbox team that are doing the hosting, like doing like red lorry, yellow lorry, green lorry, like bite my burger, all this like stupid stuff. Right, is there anything particularly you were doing to get yourself into the like kind of like mindset before recording, or like any prep?
Okay, less of a vocal exercise, but I tell you what I did do throughout the recording process was that the studio was a little bit outside of London, so I always had a train journey to go. And I played through the entire of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on my Switch, because it just got me in that kind of RPG mindset of like listening to other voice actors, enjoying what they're doing, feeling inspired, and getting me in that zone. So that was kind of my prep. It was more of a mental prep of just like getting you into the world of like fantasy, JRPG, that kind of thing. I found that actually really, really helped me.
Yeah.
No.
I like to listen to computer game soundtracks when I'm on my way. It's very tempting. You're walking around, South London, and you hear this epic music in your ears, and you're like, I am a warrior. Yes, all of you should fear me. And actually, as soon as you take the music out, you're like, I am not fearsome or scary. But yeah.
Honestly, it's been so much fun, like just kind of like seeing how you approach these characters in the world, and I can't wait to play the game myself as well. So thank you so much for both of you coming and joining us, and like finding about the process and hearing about your characters. And a big thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Gamescom and get a chance to get around the booth as well. So remember as well, the epic story of Metaphor ReFantazio unfolds when the game launches October 11th. So check out the pre-order and get ready for the adventure. But coming up, the team from 33 Immortals stop by to help us join the rebellion in this unique 33-player co-op. And later, we give you the ultimate booth experience with an Avowed demo only seen here at Gamescom. And remember, Avowed will be available on Game Pass day one. So get ready, and a great way to get ready is to take advantage of an offer from Xbox Game Pass. Get new games on day one like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 20th. 25th. Play some of the biggest games of the year and also unlock partner benefits from Riot Games and EA Play. And if you're not already a Game Pass member, you can join right now and get your first month of PC Game Pass for $1 or €1. This offer won't last long, so act now. But also, now we turn to a nutty puzzle platformer that trades acorns for ammunition. Welcome to the wild world of Squirrel with a Gun.